Let's make this abundantly clear. Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity is not Judaism. Because the isms of Judah got a lot of people saying some real off the wall stuff. Even if they have a master's degree, they're still claiming that the Father is the Son and the Son is the Father. So let's read an excerpt from Star Witness. Furthermore, the King of all kings himself said these words during the time of Revelation. Even in the 20th century, David will still be Goliath. So contrary to what you might have heard, Exodus, along with other biblical stories that have been labeled as the past, are really going to happen during the timing of Revelation. Psalm 40 verses 7 to 9 can attest to the fact that the Bible was written prior to David. Wherefore common sense tells us that it had to have been written by God prior to the birth of the son of David, also known as Jesus. Psalm 40 to the director of David. In view of that, I said, here I have come, in the roll of the book, it being written about me, to do your will, O my God. I have delighted, and your law is within my inward parts. As you could clearly see in Psalm 40, verses 7 to 9. Here I have come in the roll of the book, it being written about me. In other words, the book was written prior to Jesus or David being born. So let's continue. Consequently, is it impossible for any of the characters within the Bible to have written any parts of the Bible unless the character was God himself? For God is the author of all scriptures. For it is written in second book of Timothy, all scriptures is God breathed. Furthermore, Psalm 40 proves that the Bible was written prior to David. Hence, without David, there will be no son or offspring of David. And even though it seems self-explanatory, they will still continue to fabricate folly. So we have to question the seeds of Judah and their isms. Like, why do your churches, pastors, priests, clergy claim that Paul wrote most of the section of the KJV label as the New Testament? Not to mention, according to their version of things, 4 other writers were also given credit for writing the New Testament, even though the earliest of the 4 began writing 40 years after the Jesus' so-called death, while the last of the 4 wrote 80 years after the crucifixion of Horus in a white Jesus costume. In other words, if Jesus was here 2,023 years ago, that means Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John never met him. So let's listen to what Haile Selassie has to say, considering Judaism.
You are descended, Your Imperial Majesty, from King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba.
This is just our story, ancient story.
Notice he was told that he is a descendant of Solomon and Sheba. So he said this is just a story. In other words, Judah told you guys lies. Now you thinking that I am the seed of Judah, when in fact I am the root of David. Continue.
Blood and became regent. He became emperor on November 2nd, 1930, and was crowned Haile Selassie I, King of Kings, King of Zion, conquering lion of the seed of Judah.
Conquering lion of the seed of Judah. Why? Because Judah and their seeds continue to lie. So let's listen to what Jesus had to say. The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet. David himself calls him Lord. How then can he be his son? In other words, Judaism got you thinking that Jesus is Christ. If not, it got you thinking that Jesus is God. So Jesus said, watch out for the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and greeted with respect in the marketplace. So who is the speakers of the law? Judah. Judah is my lawgiver. Judah, the lawgiver of God. So as you can clearly see, why do the teachers of the law say that the Messiah is the son of David? Why are you saying that Jesus is the son, is God? Or why are you saying that Jesus is Christ? Like, it makes no sense. Why? Because Judah have done evil in the sight of God. And it's mentioned in many verses, like in 2 Kings, in Jeremiah. It talks about all the wickedness that Judah has done. Also, Judah did not keep the commandments of the Lord, their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made. Manasseh shed many innocent blood, by which he made Judah sin. In other words, Judah continues to lie. So that Psalm 40 makes it clear. Here I am, here I've come is written about me in the scroll. But Judah wants you to believe. So who is Judah again? Other times translated that Judah wandered away from God or was unruly toward God. Unruly against God, even against the faithful Holy One, Jah God. Until the Most High shall visit the earth, coming himself as man, which men eating and drinking and breaking the head of the dragon in the water, he shall save Israel and all the Gentiles. God speaking in person of man. Therefore, do you also, my children, tell the things that your children, that they disobey him not. In reality, God cannot be his son. God cannot come from the tribe of Judah, nor is he Judah, which makes sense, because for God himself is Israel or Jacob, because Jah is Jacob, Jah God.